right, he's here, finally. Maketoys Combiner Series Ripper, the SG1 version. They said they're wait for more. I don't know what is in the pipeline on these. I don't know if they're going to do all of these guys in shattered glass colors, if they're going to do just repaints of other figures, or how it's going to work. But he is supposedly the first in the series, and he's pretty cool. Now, I'm going to talk a little bit about the packaging here, because this is how it came to me. You can see the tape on this. I actually ordered 2 of these. This is the shipping box he comes in. And I just got, and the mail came today, and it was just 2 of these boxes. You can see taped together. You can see where I cut it off here, with the shipping label slapped on the other one. So, like, getting all that off just damaged the box and everything. But again, it's an outer shipping box. That's, you know, like, I know some people like to keep these pristine and all that stuff, but it is just the brown shipping box. Unfortunately, what's inside is literally nothing. You get the figure, but the figure comes packed just in alt mode in a plastic bag like this. He just came packaged in here. No instructions. Although, and to be fair, like, we'll go over a little bit of that. Like, I don't think that's the end of the world. He goes just wrapped in a plastic bag like this, and there is a little cardboard insert. I don't know if you can see all the way down there. Down at the other end, so I can get it out here. There's a cardboard insert that goes in here that, you know, the front of the ship gets plugged into to keep it from rattling around in the box. So it's actually, like, despite the fact that there's no fancy packaging or any box in there, he's in there quite securely. He doesn't rattle around. Like, you don't have to worry about getting damaged in this box. It's a shipper box. It serves its functions. I think some of us were expecting that inside this box would be like a cool card or some fancy packaging, because a lot of Maketoys things come in these outer shipping boxes, and then when you open them up, there's a nice, nice character box, figure box inside there. In this case, it's just a box. It's a little disappointing, but the figure's is awesome enough that I'm not super worried about it. Like I said, he comes just with this in the plastic bag, no instructions. But again, I think part of the reason they chose this guy is because of all the Quantron members. This mold is, I think, the simplest. But I think simple doesn't mean a bad figure. I think he's one of the better looking figures in the set, and I think easily the most fun. At least I really liked him. Now, I haven't played with Metal Storm yet. When I got to handle him at Quantron, I played with all 4 of the Limb members, but I did not play with Metal Storm, specifically because I wanted to keep some of that excitement for when the actual set came out. And that'll be here tomorrow, so we'll technically there today, depending on when this goes up. But he's coming on Wednesday, and I'm looking forward to that. But I do like one. This is worth picking up. Like, I almost just figured I would stick with this and not pick up Quantron. I sold some stuff to get some blacksmithing gear and had some extra money, so I picked up Quantron. But I love, and I even said at TFCon, this is the one I ended up reviewing at TFCon because he's so much fun. I love his design. He's a spaceship, very reminiscent here of the old Vic Viper from, yeah, you remember that Vic Viper from the old side-scrolling shoot-'em-up games from when we were kids. And just one, and even if it wasn't, it's a slick-looking spaceship. It's really, really cool. And the colors on this new one with the teal, kind of deep green and the purple, and it's this really beautiful, kind of a creamy bone color. Like, just looks awesome. And since it's supposed to be Ripper Snapper, this was based on the Shattered Glass Computron, who was painted in Abominus colors. So he's an analog for Ripper Snapper color-wise. And it just really works on this mold. And I think almost I like these colors more than I like the regular colors on I can't think of what's his name in Quantron. It's Strafe. Misfire? I can't remember. No, it's not Misfire. But yeah, it's a really nice, just very beautiful looking figure. It just really pops, and I'm really happy with that. Now the guns under here, I think this is the default position. I think this is the quote-unquote official position for the guns in spaceship mode. But you can they're just pegged on here. You can see this peg right here underneath. And they can also peg in a couple other places. You can peg them right into here under these posts under the spaceship if you want to have them down under here like this. Just an alternate place. I'm not a big fan of that, but it's possible to stick them there. There's also some specific slots here in the wings And I think it's mostly to store them in robot mode, but you can also put them on here in vehicle mode. And I kind of dig them up here. Personally, I do like them sitting back here, but they don't look bad up here either. Just kind of sitting there under the fuselage. I like, or the front part of here. I really like that look. It doesn't look so great from like the side, but from the top, I like just having that kind of threat of the guns under the really pointy bits. But there's that, and you can plug those in. You can plug them in on top too if you want. Although I think that's a little sillier. You can also, if you wish, you can these peg in up here on top of the things, what will become his robot mode shoulders. So you can take these off, and you can actually plug them in up here to give him like a G1 strafe look. So yeah, you can turn those however you want to turn those pegs. But so yeah, you can do it like that too. And then these, there's little pegs in here again for robot mode storage when you're not using them. Otherwise, you can kind of plug these on under here if you want. Looks a little silly, but hey, I guess you could also you can bring the. I think this may be where they go in ARM mode. I'm not sure, because I haven't played with whole contour with instructions yet. But you could tab them under there as well, or you can just leave them off to the side. It's entirely up to you. So that's the basic configurations you can get with the guns just in spaceship mode. So you've already got several options right there, and we haven't even gotten into the transformation or anything. Now again, because he is the analog of Cutthroat. Did I say Ripper Snapper earlier? I may have said Ripper. Anyway, there's been some fan mods. I think Lazy Aza found the original alt mode for this. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's who it was. And that you can start the transformation here to robot mode by extending these out. You kind of have to, helps if you push on the thrusters here. They slide up into the legs. Let's slide these out a little bit. Bring the arms down. Yeah, come on, you. I guess pull these off of here. Yeah, bring the arms down and fold them up kind of like this. And then this, pull the cockpit up around like this. Plug these into the back of the arms where they'll end up in robot mode. And kind of angle them out like wings. And of course you can store the guns on those for the time being. And then we fold these down, flip the feet around and around like this, and then fold these wings back. And you can kind of get like a vulture mode, like Ripper Snapper, or like a bird mode, which very clever. And people have gone and found some alternate configurations for all the robots to make them look vaguely like what their Abominus counterparts would be, in case we do get recolors of all of these guys. Give us a Shattered Glass Abominus, or Sluggish Computron, I guess. But that's actually pretty slick. I mean, it's not the most perfect mode, so you can still kind of see his robot mode hands, but that's actually a pretty nice little avian mode for this guy. And the fact that he can stand on those legs and everything is really neat. Like, so some of the other ones didn't work quite so well, but I think he really works well in this kind of bird analog mode, which is kind of cool. I'm going to flip him back to mostly back into ship mode just to do the official transformation to robot mode. And you can see this has a little tab here that tabs right in here to the chest. Yeah, it looks like the wing pieces are the same mold, so it doesn't matter which side you plug them in on. They're the same top and bottom. Let's put his legs back together, put these all in, collapse his body down, get his arms out of the way there, collapse them all the way back down. There we go. So, okay, the guns are on top here, but here he is back in ship mode. So the guns, like I said, the guns you take off, we'll reattach them later. You pull the fronts of these off. Come here. There we go. And you have the core of the ship. Like I said, it helps if you push on the thrusters. You can kind of just put your hand right here and your finger up here and pop the legs up. I found that's the easiest way to get those to extend instead of just yanking on it. Fold these fins back here, then flip the feet down and under. See, there's his robot mode legs all together, and his arms just kind of pull out to the side. And then you can flip this down if you want to. We want to give him waist articulation. This kind of blocks that a little bit. You can still move it, but it does tend to block it a little bit, and it does. You see, it kind of locks into place right there. You fold this down a little bit. And it's on a double hinge, so you don't have to hang down quite so much. And that'll free up the waist for moving. And then this piece comes up and around and over and just sits on the back there like that. Does it plug into the... I don't think it actually tabs into this at all. So you can put it down over that, but I said get that out of the way. And then turn his head around. And there's the base robot mode. And again, really, really nice. He's got his face is gold. It's a really nice gold, and it makes it look more like a face. He's got the nice red visor, and all the colors are just as prominent in this mode as well. And just really gorgeous looking figure. And then these can be held. You can flip this handle out, and you can hold these as swords if you want to have them armed as such. He's got his pistols, which you can hold, again, just like that. And you've got, and again, these can store on the back of his shoulder if you're not using the guns. If you want to have them sitting up here on the tops of his shoulders, you can do that. It looks a little silly, but you can do it. You can attach, if you don't want to have him wielding any weapons, you can attach these to the, if you want, and same thing, you can attach those to the back of his shoulders and have him holding his rifles. If you want him dual gun wielding, you can do one of each, if that's what you prefer. And if you just don't want to have him hold anything, you can actually, just like before, you can store the guns on the wings and just have those hang there kind of like on his back like a cape. And you can store him without wielding anything at the moment. So again, I love the customizability in these guys. I know there's some issues with that some people have with parts forming. I always like it when you don't have to parts form a toy, when you don't have to pull things apart and rearrange them. Here, because of... I'm a little more forgiving of it here just because it does give you so many options in customization and posing and weapon choice and all that stuff. Because it really is, the only thing you're actually pulling off is his weapons. So I don't think of it so much as parts forming. If you took all those pieces off, you could still have something resembling a spaceship and a robot without those pieces. So yeah, it's something more to keep track of, but they do all store in both modes, and it's really cool. Posability wise, he's got a ball jointed head. He's got the ball jointed and hinge shoulders. There's a ball joint here and then a hinge up here. Bicep swivel, elbows. He's got a wrist swivel, waist swivel, ball joint hips, thigh swivel, hinge knees, and then he's got the hinge and ball joint foot. So when you get him, when like this way, he's sitting on a tab there, and you can't really move him so much either way. But when you have it in the proper position, he does actually get a nice range of tilt there in the ankle as well. So you've got a lot of really good posability with him, and you can get some really dynamic stuff. Kind of like what you expect from a Maketoys figure. I mean, like they've gotten really good about some of the designs on these guys and making them really posable. So yeah, he's pretty cool. Here he is, just as a size comparison. Here he is with the G2 car crash they did at that Fans Project did at TFCon Toronto, and I'm pretty sure like they at least share a designer between the two companies, because there's so many aesthetic similarities between the two of these, especially the head design, as well as the way the shoulders work and everything. I mean, these are practically the same connectors on the shoulders, so I'm pretty sure it's the same designer who did both of these figures, and it shows. And it's nice to see them of a comparable scale. They look really nice together, and I really like. I love these as alternate repaints, even if we only get one-offs. different figures as one-off repaints and not full combiner repaints in whatever this line is that they're doing with Ripper. I'm okay with that because I like these two as a team. Whether we get a full G2 Menasor, whether we get a full Shattered Glass Computron, I'd love to see both of those. Like these two guys are going to be like on the hunt, buddy, like on my shelf. Like, you know, obviously if we get the full combiners, I'll stick these guys on said combiners when I combine them and put them with those teams. But for right now, I like these guys as a pair of troublemakers. So yeah, there is Maketoys Ripper falling backwards onto his head. Came in the mail today. Very cool. I do hope somebody did a Digibash on. I've seen the pictures on TFW. I think they originally came from the Allspark. They came from somewhere, showing Computron in, you know, with Ripper attached, and then the rest of Computron in Shattered Glass colors, and it looks beautiful. Like the Metal Storm somebody did in Abominus, or not Abominus, in Hunger colors, looks amazing. It's a beautiful purple. And I'd really like to see. I'd love to see the whole team come to fruition on these guys, as well as the G2 Stunnicons. But even if it doesn't, this guy is great. I absolutely love this guy. As soon as I saw the pictures, I fell in love with him, and having him in hand, it's even better. It does not disappoint in the least. Maketoys Ripper from Maketoys.